Welcome to Module 14, Switching Play. Switching play is the process of moving the ball from one side of the field to the other to create space and ultimately advance the ball forward. This module will teach you how to recognize moments to switch play, and will then teach you how to execute. Let's start with some cues and some common moments that suggest a switch of play, listed here. The ball is with this player. As he drives forward, he eventually runs out of space. We can now see that the orange team has overloaded this side of the field. There are no clear options to advance the ball forward, and this space is wide open and exposed, all cues that suggest a switch of play. Before we resume, let's look at the execution phase, which we see outlined here. Now let's resume. We can first see that this player has dropped back to provide a good angle to receive the ball. Next, we can see that he has received it on his right foot, also called his back foot in this case, allowing him to open up his hips to the far side of the field. We can also see this midfielder moving to provide a good angle to be another link to the weak side of the field. It's often a good idea to backpedal in this scenario so that you don't have to turn in order to receive it facing forward. Luckily, the player is smart, receiving it with a good body shape, again open to the field. Let's pause again and look at the last piece. The movement of the weak side player we see here, most commonly an outside back or outside midfielder. Here are some things to think about as a weak side player when switching play. Resuming, we can see that the player has done a good job of recognizing cues, moving forward quick enough to eliminate this player, and eventually getting a shot off from just outside the 18. In this scenario, we will see a slightly more direct example of switching play. As the white team moves the ball around, we see the red team beginning to overload one side of the field. Then, as this player receives it, let's watch the movement of this player. We can see that he backpedals a few steps to create a good angle to receive the ball, and we can see that he has properly received it on his back foot. We can also see the other defender for white has slid back this way to create a good angle. But let's notice the movement of this player on the very left side of the screen. A few seconds ago, the player was positioned more centrally, but by staying engaged and picking up on cues that a switch of play was coming, he has moved into a higher and wider position. Because of this, the player in possession, as we see, can skip the second link and play a more direct switch, which has resulted in lots of space for the white team to advance the ball forward. Before moving on to the lesson, here is a review of what we went over in this video.